Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today it's a bit of a longer journal entry just because I want to talk, I want to yap a little bit longer. But first of all, I just want to ask, how are you guys? Um, Today I got some news from a coworker, which I'll talk about towards the end of the episode, but it's just a reminder that you never know what people are going through, right? So I ask, how are you guys genuinely? Because I want you guys to let me know, like, if you're doing well. If it doesn't have to be trading, by the way, it can just be normal life, like anything that's going on in your life, anything that you want to share, anything that you want to talk about, right? We have our Discord, the link is in the description box, and we have a lot of people in there that genuinely love to help you with trading, but also we have a lot of people that love to talk and listen. And I know that I haven't been as active, and as a community, we haven't been as active as of late, but um, everyone in there is always willing to answer questions and just talk about life in general, right? But especially myself too. If you're having an issue with something or if you just want to talk, please let me know. So, with that being said, um, let's talk about trading today. So, I broke one of my rules, and I know that sounds bad, right? But it's not in the way that you think, and I think I'm actually going to be taking out that rule with an exception. And that rule is usually taking a trade that's one and done, right? You take a win and you're done. Today, I took two trades that were both winners, but what changed today? What changed was my mindset, right? I realized that I just wasn't simplifying my trading. I was really just doing things, trying to make things more difficult, more technical, right? Looking for rejection of value area low or a bounce off value area high, right? When it's like, it's really comes down to this. Buyers and sellers. We're looking for a place to buy at a discount. We're looking for a place to buy or to sell at a premium, right? You go to the store, I don't know, let's say that you're buying, I don't know, grapes, right? What's that Duck song? I forgot what that song is. But anyway, uh, where he's like, hey, have any grapes? But anyway, that's not the point. Oh, and he waddles away, waddle, waddle. But anyway, imagine you're going to the store and you're buying grapes, right? And you decide to go to Publix. That's what we have here in Florida. And the grapes are 3.75 a pound. And then you go to Walmart and they're 2.50 a pound. Obviously, you're going to buy the ones that are 2.50, right? Unless the quality of the grapes from Publix are that much better or $1.25 better than um than Walmart's, then obviously, yeah, you are going to buy the 3.75 grapes. But basically, what I'm trying to say here is the fact that when it comes to buying and selling in the market, you want to buy at a good price and you want to sell at a good price. And that's something that I just have been ignoring as of late. I've been trying to make it more technical. Oh, I need to buy, even though it's at value area high, it's rejecting value area high and heading higher. Or even if it's at value area low, I can still sell here because blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, like, I've realized in my trading that I need to just simplify it as much as possible. Buy a discount, sell a premium, and that's it, right? And I think that's going to help me so much because I know that if prices in an area of value area lows or value area highs, I can only do one thing and one thing only. And if it doesn't present itself, you just don't take it, right? So a lot of times I've said, oh, if your setup doesn't present itself, then you don't take it and you just wait until your model presents itself and blah, blah, blah. But like, I literally have not been doing that for like the last 2 or 3 weeks. I've been second guessing myself. I don't feel as confident. I've been doing certain things that doesn't align with the simplicity of my trading. And that's something that I tried to fix today. So yes, I did take two trades today. To be honest, I was completely willing to not make anything today after the first trade because I just wanted to show that okay, that this is what I need to do, right? So let's actually come back here. Go on Topstep. We'll put on executions so that way we can see. And Obviously, you'll see a lot of executions here, but that's because I'm playing defense too. That's another thing I want to talk about as well, but we'll get into that. So, first initial trade comes in this candle right here, 7:54, right? So I've changed my starting time to 8 o'clock. So we took a trade a tiny bit earlier than that, but that's because I saw it setting up, right? At 7:54, I was like, this is the perfect opportunity. We are going long. You can see this here. Not only did we get through valley area lows, in fact, let me just go on replay. Not only did we get through valley area lows, right? We're bouncing, we were having good candles. We basically took away this whole red candle heading lower, right? And continuing higher. We are close to VWAP, so it's like, ooh, that's kind of bad. I could have been a little bit more patient and set limit entries down here, but it's fine, right? We are clearly showing we are bouncing off value area lows, coming down, and then heading higher. I just talked about the technicalities of things, and I'm talking about it here. But essentially, this is an area of discount, right? This is where the market is basically saying, here, this is a really good price to buy at, right? So not all the time is it going to work. And obviously, you're not just going to buy once it hits that line. That's really dumb. But you are looking for signals and signs that's telling you, okay, this is a really good price to buy. Here's another one, right? At 7:59. I think I wanted to add there, but I ended up opting not to, right? Because I'm like, let me just see how the 8 o'clock candle is, because if the 8 o'clock candle just shoots us down, then I know I was wrong, right? That's another thing, being able to accept risk, right? So at the time that we entered this first position, we were risking $99 to the bottom of this low right here, right? So we accepted risk, continued on, right? Here's a pause candle, this doji. It's a pause candle. We ended up heading higher. The 8 o'clock candle pause. We head lower, so I was like, oh, maybe we're wrong. But then this candle right here at 8:05, and then this candle 8:06 solidified it to me, right? We did add here, right, on this pause candle because again, we were mostly bullish. We came down, we headed up, so we fought back. So to me, that was a good sign. So we did buy a couple there. Um, we did buy a couple here actually at 7:59 now that I look at it as well. Because again, it was a good candle, right? This was another good candle, and this was the best candle so far. We added some more here, just one more, right? And then we started selling, right? So here we started playing defense. Started playing defense, started looking at the price movement, and you can see here we are just, I call it barcoding. We're um, stepping on the ladder stepping ladder. I don't know what to call that exactly, but basically I call it barcoding, where it's like you're not really printing anything noteworthy, anything with substance, with the volume, right? So at this point, I'm taking positions off. I'm looking for 900. We're not getting 900. Initially, it was 897.50. Then I moved it up to 900, and we're looking for that, looking for that, looking for that. We couldn't get it, right? So I ended up, my full position ended up being stopped out right here at 841. So we'll just go back on replay so we can play it out, right? See how it plays out. So at this point, I got slammed down here. We were done. But I realized something. The trend was always down, right? Doesn't mean that you'll continue down, but it was always down. And you can see we formed a base and we did head higher. Second thing, we came close to value area highs. And I realized that this is also my setup, but to the downside, right? And this is how you want to play it. So I was like, you know what? I normally don't take two trades, but I'm going to take one just to prove to myself that the simplicity of my trading, not saying that it works 100% of the time because it definitely does not, but it works, right? So value area high here, we rejected off high volume, we pulled back, and then we continued lower, right? Rejection. So you'll see here, coming back, I entered again. This time I entered on this candle, sold 3, right? Continue lower, sold 2. Pull back to VWAP, rejected, right? Sold another, sold some more, right? And then here we ended up playing defense again, taking our full position out. And by the time we got to, I wanted to say, I thought it was this candle, but I guess it was this candle. By the time we got to this candle, we were stopped out at break even, right? Whatever break even was at the time. But we continued lower. We rejected VWAP again, and we continued lower, right? Where did we continue to? So if we come here, this was 903. So 903, which is this next candle, right? I think that's the lowest we ended about close to the lowest that we ended up getting to. Where are we? Value area lows, right? So then I actually ended up taking another trade, but this was on my practice account because I'm like, I should only be taking two trades on my practice account here, right? So on my practice account, we loaded up 30 contracts. Ignore these ones because these are basically what I do before I actually take an actual trade. But this is where we loaded up 30 contracts. I don't know why I use such huge size. It really doesn't matter. But you can see here, we loaded up. Why did we load up here? One, we were at value area lows. Two, we were getting signs that we were going to bounce from here, right? So here's that's the first sign. That candle right here, that was the first sign, right? Looking like we were heading higher. Here's another sign, top wick though, right? So you want to be patient and wait. That's your sign. That's the sign to load up and go all in at 9:17, right? So you'll see here, we added actually 9:15. I should have added at 9:17 if I'm being completely honest with myself. Um, but I just thought that was a good place to add, and I was busy doing some other things, right? It was the practice account, it didn't really matter, but this was the candle to really add. We added here, it's fine. And look at the price, right? So now going to live and looking where we're at. Look where we're at. This is where we're at now. Does that mean that you should automatically sell here? No, right? What I would like to look for, and this is going as all the way as a throwback to my beginning videos on YouTube, I want to see this end signal, right? So here we get this move down, high volume, rejecting value area high, right? We're pulling back. I want to see another huge rejection down. That's where you take your target, right? Stop loss above value area high or that last pivot point, which is around value area high, and then you see how it goes, right? The stop losses must be placed in logical positions. Take profits must be placed at logical positions. And that is something that I have not been doing as well. I've been looking for trades that are going past the value areas. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And I've said in previous videos that I am a gambler. I don't really mean that I'm a gambler, but I love to set bets that, oh, it's gonna go more. It's gonna go a little bit more. And there have been I thought I was on my previous account, but I forgot that I blew it. But there have been so many times where I've taken trades that I was up $200, $300. And I don't get any. In fact, I end up losing $200, $300, right? Because I'm thinking that, oh, price is going to shoot more than these value areas, that it's going to head lower, right? So when I took the short earlier, when value area high was at this 898 level, I was thinking, oh, we could probably go down to 874. But I realized that in the moment. And I took it off at 882 where value area low was at the time because I'm like, bro, we might not even get there. That first long that we took, I was playing defensively, right? So here you can see that this is where I would be looking to sell if we slam down on high volume. But my long that I took earlier, we didn't even hit value area high, but I was playing defensive because I saw how price action was moving, right? So I know in yesterday's video I was talking about how I can't read price action. It has been tough and it has been difficult. But I feel like myself simplifying exactly what's going on and saying I am going to sell at premium and buy at discount. That's just the best way to go about it. And that's what we're trying to get. So even this move right here, right? If we start heading lower, if we start selling lower, right? And I see that we're only aiming for about 15 points from this point if we were to sell here, right? Because right now I have not gotten a signal to sell, right? So before I was looking for 20-point moves, 30-point moves, when it's like that's not really realistic, especially in Asian session. Maybe during New York, absolutely, but an Asian session, that is not realistic whatsoever, right? So I need to be aware of that. I need to understand that too. I feel like there have been so many times where I've just been so greedy in terms of trying to look for more, having that gambler's mindset. Oh, I think we can get more. I think we can get more. If you're at a casino and you continue to bet while you're already up, you're probably going to lose all your money. That's just a fact. So I need to get away from that and start doing a better job of just taking what the market gives me, just taking these simple areas, right? Of course, can price push above these value area highs? Of course it can. But does that mean that it's always going to? No. But we know that these are areas where we can easily buy, right, at a good price, whether it's if it's value area low, or sell at a good price if it's value area high. It doesn't matter if it continues. Take your little piece of the pie and continue on, right? So yeah, yes, I did break my rule of trading twice, but like I said earlier, I am amending that if price is at value area high or value area low, you take the trade, right? If it's showing signs of being bought out at discount or signs of being sold out at premium, right? Now, does that mean that you take 10 trades a day? No, I'm still going to stick to my rule of three, where I'm allowed a win, a loss, and a break even max, right? So if I win on the day, and if I win, and it's a good amount, I don't need to take a second trade, right? And I'll probably still stick with that. But if I take a win, just like today, and I see another setup right away, I will take that trade, but I will make sure that I'm only risking what I won, right? So it's kind of like a free bet, where if you win, again, gambler's mentality, but if you win, you end up earning more. If you lose, you don't lose anything, right? And it's just a lesson learned, right? So I think that's how I'm going to play it. So that way it equates to break even. If we take a break even trade, we're allowed another one, but then three trades maximum on the day. So yeah, so that is basically what I wanted to talk about in terms of the trade recap. I know it's kind of a lot, but basically simplicity is best if I were to sum it up in 3 words. And that's the way that I should be going about things. And hopefully it continues because now I feel like I'm finally finding my groove, right? I know we've had 2 losing days on a month, and to be honest, losing days doesn't really equate to anything. Same thing with winning days either. That stuff does not matter. It's about the type of trades that you took. So even though I lost on Monday or Sunday night or whatever day I lost, I can't even remember. Um, those were good trades, and I was happy with it, right? Yesterday I was fine with it too, but it wasn't the cleanest, it wasn't the best, right? So that's what we have to look for today. 2 awesome trades and 3 awesome trades, but the last one was on the practice account. So I have to be happy with that, and we're starting to turn the corner. I feel like I'm starting to get my groove again, and just making sure that I keep it simple, you know? Keep it simple. I think the saying is KISS, KISS, keep it simple. They say stupid. I'm gonna try to say smarty, right? Because we're not stupid, right? But you want to keep it simple. So, yeah, that is it for the trade recap. I'm gonna talk about life a little bit here, and then that'll be the end of the video. So, anyone who's watching for the trade recap, including myself, we're stopping it here. Anyone who's here for the life lessons, I hope you're still here, or you fast forwarded to this point. Um, but today, my coworker, it was honestly just, I was telling my girlfriend about it too, and it's still a bit difficult as well. But her pet passed away, which was sad, right? But long story short, she had, unfortunately, 2 pet ferrets. One passed away due to cancer a couple months ago. Another one passed away this past weekend when she worked with me because I work on Saturdays. And she ended up picking up a Saturday for a coworker who never works Saturdays, right? And she ended up picking it up. She worked with me. I barely saw her that day, but I did see her a little bit. And when she came home, her pet ferret passed away. But honestly, the way that it happened is just so terrible. Absolutely so terrible. And it's an honest mistake where I like even just mentioning it now is just so terrible. But I feel like I need to talk about this because it's on my mind, and you never know what people are going through, right? And her pet ferret passed away in the washing machine, where She always checks, but the one time she didn't check the washing machine, the ferret was in there. His name was Coco, and she didn't know until she got back home, you know. And I'm not gonna go into the whole description and stuff because it was so terrible. But when she told me, she started crying, and I just hugged her and hugged her and hugged her because it's just absolutely gut wrenching. And you can tell that she felt a lot of guilt towards what happened. And I know that she feels a lot of guilt, but I told her that's it's not your fault, you know. And she said yes it is, right? And me and my girlfriend were talking about it too, and there have been so many times with our pet rabbit, Bun Bun, where we felt that if he were, to get sick, right, that we've had to take him to the ER, that we've had to take him to the vet appointments, that it was our fault, that we could have done a better job. I remember there was one time he was chewing the plastic bag in the litter box that we put for him, just because it made it easier for us to clean up. And then he ended up getting what's called GI stasis, where he has something wrong with his stomach. It's not moving well. The gut isn't moving as well as it should be. And we thought it was our fault. We're like, we're about to kill our son, you know? And thankfully he's fine and he's okay now as being a little rambunctious bunny. But we think about those times too. So not only is she dealing with the guilt of that, right? She's dealing with her pet who just passed away 2 months ago, dealing with her pet ferret again who just passed away. This time she feels like it's her mistake. She's been dealing with so much stuff at work too, right? Which is so unfortunate. Unfortunately, not a lot of people like her because of her personality, and she's very like straightforward and stuff, but this is someone that I look to as a mentor, who has taught me so much. Um, I just feel bad, and she got written up at work and all this other stuff. It's just like, oh, it's so terrible. It's so terrible. And I feel so bad for her, right? But it just makes me realize that there's so many things where we look at people and we have no idea what they go through. And I saw her crying earlier today. I was on my computer. My other coworker pointed it out that, she was crying, and she was actually talking to another one of our coworkers in the hospital. You have so many coworkers, nurses, doctors, occupational therapists, so on and so forth. Um, but I didn't know what was going on, and it's so easy for us to assume about what could be happening. Oh, she's disgruntled at work, or oh, like she's not having a good time because she's been moved, which is what happened. She's been moved to a different area. After working in an area for 7 years, she was moved to another area by her boss. Um, and we could easily assume that this is what this person's going through and not care, but I'm so glad that I saw her today, and I'm so glad that I was able to check on her and ask her and stuff. And it just makes me sad, but it also just makes me realize too that, no matter what you're going through, you know it will pass, right? So in Stoicism we say this too shall pass, meaning that nothing lasts forever. Whatever you're going through right now, whether it's in trading, you're on a losing streak, or you're on a winning streak, whether it's in life, you're going through a tough time or you're going through a really good time, nothing lasts forever. And I really want to stress that we do not know what's going on in other people's lives. We should be mindful of that, and we should be caring towards that, right? We should be sympathetic to other people's situations, and we should be helpful to those that we can help, right? So I just want to say that today too. Hopefully you guys are able to let me know how you guys are doing as well. Um, it's tough. It's really tough. Um, to hear that from her, and it's just tough to go through life in general. So it's like, yeah, sometimes like we lose our trades and we lose money and stuff, and it's like, oh, it feels like the end of the world sometimes, especially when we blow an account, or we blow a funded account, or we blow a combine or whatever. But at the end of the day, none of that stuff really matters. It's life that's what really matters, and we need to be mindful of that. We need to be putting all our efforts into becoming better people. And I think that's something that I really want to stress, especially with this channel too. Like, I'm always someone that I want to improve myself. I want to get better. I want to be the best version of myself possible. I always say that. I've said that for years now. So whenever I go through life and I see an opportunity to improve, I try my best to improve. It's hard though. It's hard, but I think if we continuously do that in our lives, we will end up by the end of our lives as being the best version of ourselves, right? And attaining moments and specific time periods in our life where we felt that we were just growing and getting better, right? Amidst all the adversity, all the struggles, all the trials and tribulations, as they say, that we continuously improve and we got better because of those obstacles in front of us, right? So, anyway, guys, that's it for this video. I know long. Was this a long one? 25 minutes? Yeah, so it was a long one. Um, Hopefully you guys are doing well. Again, like I said earlier, if you're still watching to this point, thank you. Um, you know me, I never ask for people to watch to till the end. I never ask for subscribers, but if you are subscribed and if you are watching, again, I thank you as always. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Again, like I said, let me know how you guys are doing overall because again, like I love to help people. I love to talk to people. I love to listen to people. I know that I don't always get back to people because I'm so busy at times, but if you're reaching out for help and you're asking for help, I will do my best, to help you. So, anyway, guys, that's it for this video today. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Hopefully, you guys are trading well. And yeah, keep trading stoically.